Some great news if you're an Alita Battle Angel fan. It looks like a sequel could be on the way finally. Now, if you didn't know, since this movie came out in 2019, it has had a very passionate and strong fan base, which has campaigned for a sequel to this movie to be made, with the hashtag Alita sequel. Now, I was very late to the party with this movie. I didn't watch it until maybe a year and a half after it came out during the pandemic. I seen people online talking about it, I seen the fan movement, so I finally checked it out, and I had such a good time with this movie. I was not expecting it to be as deep and as kind of spectacular as it was, and I've watched it a few times since, and it gets better and better and better. So if you have not checked out Alita Battle Angel, check it out. Highly recommend. I love this movie. Now, this was produced by Fox. It came out, it made $405 million globally on a $170 million budget. Now, on a $170 million budget, you would want to triple your box office to make a pretty good profit. The film didn't quite triple its budget, but $405 million for a movie that doesn't have a massive IEP. I think it's based on either a comic book or an anime series, but it doesn't have a huge fan base. Before the movie, it doesn't have a massive star in it. Robert Rodriguez, the director, isn't a massive director like James Cameron, who was actually a producer for this. So, it had a lot of stuff against it, and to make $405 million worldwide, I think is pretty good, and it deserves a sequel. Produced by Fox, who of course have been bought by Disney now, so this will be a Disney movie if it comes out next, maybe under the 20th Century Fox banner. But I definitely think there's a place for this sequel to happen, either a Disney Plus series or to put out a proper sequel in theaters, because $405 million is nothing to laugh at whatsoever. I think there's huge potential. But the director of the first movie, Robert Rodriguez, had this to say about a sequel. Jim and I talked about it recently, and we're still very interested. I told him, let me deliver Boba, and then let's figure out a pitch. He's doing Boba Fett right now, which is coming out soon, actually, this Christmas. But Jim is James Cameron, who produced the movie, the director of Titanic, Avatar, Terminator, so he very much loved Alita Battle Angel. He was trying to get this movie in the works for years. Then he decided not to direct it himself. He gave it to Robert Rodriguez, and Robert Rodriguez did a fantastic job, I think, big time. So he wanted to get Boba Fett out there into the world first, and then come up with an idea, or maybe he already has an idea, but come up with a pitch to Disney. And I think this will happen because, for one, the first movie made $405 million, and that's pretty good. Maybe you could do a smaller budget next time. Also, James Cameron was a producer on the first movie, and James Cameron has huge pull with a lot of these studios. Big time. So I think that's definitely in the favour for the sequel happening. And another reason why I think this will happen is because Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron can go in and say, look at the fan base, look at the Alita army and what they've looked for over the last nearly 3 years. They've wanted a sequel to this. They've done campaigns, they've tweeted at us. I actually think they got Alita re-released into theaters as well during the pandemic, which was fantastic. Brilliantly done. So I definitely think they can go in, they can pitch the box office, they can pitch the sequel and the fan base that is there for this. But I definitely 100% will think that this will happen at some stage. Of course, Boba Fett is his first priority right now. That's coming out. He'll have press tour about that as well. He'll be asked a lot of questions about Alita 2, and we will get a lot more information when he does those press junkets. But guys, what's your thoughts on a sequel to Alita Battle Angel? It looks like it is very much in the early development stage, but they're going to pitch the sequel to Disney pretty soon. Did you watch the first one? Did you like it? If you haven't, check it out and let me know your thoughts. Guys, thanks for watching.